Today we're looking at the Razer Wolverine V2 Pro Chroma wireless gaming controller for PlayStation 5 and PC. This is the original boxing that comes with the controller. The controller retails for $249.99. Inside the box, you'll see we get that controller, 2 replacement analog sticks, and a wireless USB dongle rated for 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection for the controller. As you can see, the controller has 6 mappable buttons, grip side panels, and it comes in a Panda style variant for color. These are the actual replacement analog sticks, both magnetized. They fit right in where the original analog sticks are on a controller, made in dome shape and concave. Here is what they rate as ultra fast 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection USB dongle. I use it wireless. It's fast, but it appears to be like, any other wireless dongle. I prefer playing wired since I'm pretty close to the TV, keeps it charged. But when I do need to play on the couch, I can use this wireless. It works good, but I've noticed some slight latency here and there. Here's the controller with the Xbox style offset analog sticks. It has the micro switches on the D-pad and also micro switches on the face buttons. Typical PlayStation fashion has the touchpad, the PlayStation home button, then it also has your audio buttons on there, plus your share and your menu button. This controller does not have DualSense features as such as the PlayStation controller and also the DualSense Pro controller that's also coming out. This has the 6 mappable buttons, 2 on top, 4 on the back. You have the switches to go from wireless to wired, and also PlayStation 5 functionality to PC functionality. The triggers on top do have desktop triggers, so you can shorten the throws of the triggers. Pressure. On the handles, there's a grippy texture, rubberized of course. Most of the controller is rubberized in plastic. The only metal pieces I've noticed are on the analog sticks, but that conserves some weight. Now if we compare it to the Razer Wolverine Ultimate for Xbox and PC, you can see that this controller retailed at $189 at the time of launch, comes with a case, which the Wolverine V2 Pro does not. So I was a little salty there because you kind of pay more money for something without a case. But the Wolverine Ultimate Pro comes with the same stuff, basically your analog stick and your D-pad replacements. Now looking at the Wolverine Ultimate, you can see this is for Xbox and PC. Kind of sort of the same layout, but it is a smaller form factor controller. You still have all 6 mappable buttons, 2 extra ones on top, and then 4 on the back, but there's no switch for a wired or wireless. This is strictly a wired controller that goes in via USB. You still have the trigger stops, grip handles, and as I said, the 6 mappable buttons. Then you have your profile selector buttons and also your audio buttons for your mic, which is good. These analog sticks are easier to take off and put back on, in my honest opinion, compared to the V2 Pro. And then also you have micro switches. That strip right there is your RGB light. So if you like RGB, you can turn that on. Completely customizable colors. You can have it flash or just do one single color if that's your thing. Right now, I'll just compare what it looks like for the RGB on the Ultimate compared to the V2 Pro. So you can see on the Ultimate, there's this RGB on top. It's kind of bright here, but it does do random colors as you're playing. So when you play, if RGB is your thing, like I said, you can see that color flash while you're playing. Your hands don't get in the way. On the V2 Pro, your hands kind of get in the way when the RGB is flashing. So, you know, usually you can turn it off or just have it on for aesthetics. But now bringing in the original PlayStation 5 DualSense controller, I just used this to show comparison to the V2 Pro. I do like the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller, but I am, you know, formerly an Xbox player, so I'm more used to the offset analog sticks. And also, this seems like this controller is a little bit heavier, and the grips are, you know, where your hands wrap around are a little bit longer. So I prefer the Pro controller opposed to the PlayStation 5 DualSense. And then just bringing in the OG Xbox One controller, you can see this is kind of worn in. You know, one of my favorite controllers before I started messing with Pro controllers. It has the same feel as the V2 Pro. And, you know, that's why I kind of like waited along for this, even though the steep price range as mentioned before. I love this form factor of the OG Xbox controller. And just to compare size of the Ultimate compared to the V2 Pro, the V2 Pro is slightly bigger than the Ultimate. As you can see, it's a little bit wider. From a top angle, you can see like it protrudes back a little bit more. And you notice this in the hand when you hold it, it feels a little bit wider. So when you try to get to those buttons on the back, you know, your fingers probably have to stretch a little bit more. It takes a little muscle memory to get used to. But overall, the same feel is just slightly bigger when you play with it. But once you get the hang of it, totally comfortable controller. You can remap all the buttons via app, and it's just way comfortable. And then, you know, your thumbs never have to leave the sticks. But definitely give the V2 Pro, you know, a good solid, I want to say 8 out of 10. I want to say 8 out of 10 because, you know, you don't get the case, and also the price is kind of steep. But for the PlayStation 5 users, pretty good pickup. Just another option to use. If you want to use the DualSense Pro, gladly go with that. That's another option. But yes, this is a great controller to pick up if you have the bank for it.